Joe Rogan talks about ancient civilizations destroyed by natural causes. The Amazon, stretching for millions of kilometers with nothing but lush green forests covering lots of unexplored terrains. Severally, there have been speculations of ancient cities that had existed within what now is a very dense vegetation. The story of the lost city of El Dorado, which is a mystical city of gold, seems to be the most popular. But since then, there has been no evidence to support the existence of any such civilizations until recently. Archaeologists have succeeded in identifying structures that not only suggest that there were people once dwelling here, but they were more advanced than we ever thought. Welcome back to Declassified Theories. If you're new here, do subscribe to our channel as we take you through the journey of bringing mysteries to your feet. Let's get it on. The Amazon rainforest is estimated to cover a staggering 7 million square kilometers. This is estimated to be the size of 48 states in the United States combined. It's home to millions of some of the world's undiscovered species, as most of it is unexplored given the large expanse of land covered. This large expanse is split among 9 different countries, with Brazil owning about 60% of the landmass. The rest is split between Peru, Colombia, Bolivia, Ecuador, French Guiana, Suriname, and Venezuela. According to estimates, there are about 390 billion trees in the Amazon, which spreads to above 16,000 species. This number increases exponentially when we include other smaller and climbing plants. There are thousands of animal species that have been identified and millions of insect species, with many yet to be identified. The vast area of land makes it really difficult to grasp fully the ecological diversity of this forest. Scientists have divided the vast rainforest into 4 layers: the forest floor, the understory, the canopy, and the overstory, each layer bustling with wildlife that has adapted to conditions within their own territory, prey and predators alike. The Amazon rainforest has been identified as the world's largest ecosystem. The dense vegetation in this forest plays a major role in the regulation of global carbon emissions. There's an estimated 12-hour period of sunlight in the area daily. This, with the help of the Amazon River, helps support life in the forest. The high humidity helps ensure adequate distribution of rainfall even for farmers far away from the forest, which helps maintain an adequate supply of food for these surrounding communities of people. However, recent developments have come to show that the Amazon rainforest has not just been a stretch of natural vegetation all along. Early explorers had reported to have encountered advanced communities within the Amazon. However, being accounts from individuals, there has been no means to validate their claims. This is because subsequent explorers who came after them couldn't find any trace of people living there. At best, people believed that some might have lived in small colonies as the terrain was too unsuitable to sustain millions of people. Francisco Orellana was one of such explorers who had claimed to have encountered powerful Amazonian female warriors in 1542. The lack of confirmation of these stories of encounters, due to the inability to find any trace of human activity in the forest, made many question the validity of such claims. However, with modern technology, some remarkable discoveries are being made. This brings the question, what could have happened to all these people? According to Joe Rogan's guest, Grantham Hancock, a British writer who is popular for providing pseudoscientific theories when it comes to ancient civilizations, the early dwellers of the Amazon forest might be more advanced than we think. With modern technologies and the recent encroachment into the forest, some structures, which can only be linked to human activities, are being discovered. There has been a revelation of colonies that could accommodate thousands of people found all around the forest. These findings are beginning to validate the claims made by early explorers. A recent revelation, as confirmed by Hancock, speaks to how advanced these people were. Given that the soil of the Amazon isn't that suitable to produce food for a large population as has been shown to have lived there, they invented a type of soil. This might sound made up, but there is a type of soil found in some parts of the Amazon known as the terra preta. This is a Portuguese word which literally translates to black soil. This was formed by mixing charcoal, animal bones, and regular soil. Early theories on how this soil came to be suggested that they are formed from volcanic ashes, and the other is that they are formed under dry lakes. However, the discovery of ceramic pieces in the soil moves to show that some human activities must have been involved. The soil has been found to hold nutrients for a very long time, making it more suitable for agriculture than regular soil. The introduction of the LiDAR technology has revealed something quite interesting about the Amazon forest recently. With this, a 3D scan of some parts of the Amazon has revealed something that will debunk the notion that the Amazon has been out of human reach. The scanner reveals large colonies and even pyramids that were built by the former inhabitants of the Amazon. These structures are dated to have been built more than 5,000 years ago. This is even before the construction of the Egyptian pyramids. And that this was done at a time modern research thought had only men who depended on hunting to feed makes us question what we actually know. Up until now, the pyramids of Giza still puzzle modern-day researchers as they struggle to understand the approach that was adopted in the construction of those gigantic and very complex structures. Some speculate that maybe the early Egyptians had some kind of contact with higher beings that aided their designs. The same can be attributed to what has been discovered in the Amazon. Or could there be something we are missing? Grantham Hancock, while speaking in an interview with Joe Rogan, makes reference to the dilemma about how these structures came to be. To him, the inability to understand these structures should make us look forward. He proposes that there might be something that these people understood better than we do now, and the ruling out of some kind of unconventional power just because science says it's impossible isn't the right way to go. To him, measuring technology with what we have at the moment being our yardstick might just be downplaying what might have been. The civilization being discovered in the Amazon rainforest is one that is said to be so advanced that the way the cities and their farmlands were handled was done in such a way to preserve biodiversity. Learning about these methods is likely going to be very useful to present-day humans. It will go a long way in mitigating the impact of environmental problems that we face today. For instance, locals today export the Amazonian black earth for potting plants. This is because the method that was adopted in making the soil is so efficient that nutrients last much longer than normal in the soil. And to support that this is not a naturally occurring soil in the area, scientists have been able to study the distribution, and it only makes sense if the soil was man-made. New evidence from the Amazon is showing that there was a population of more than 20 million people in the Amazon. This is more than what you would have expected from a city like London, which had a population of about 50,000 people in the 16th century. This is according to Hancock. Now, you might begin to wonder, if this civilization that was in the Amazon ever existed, what could have happened to millions of people that made it even so hard to find a trace? Grantham Hancock answers this question with reference to smallpox. The Amazon simply started getting a lot of visitors that brought in foreign diseases. So, he suspects that the Spaniard explorers must have introduced smallpox to the population. And with no immune defense to such an illness, the effect on these people was cataclysmic. When we consider that there had been events that wiped out entire creatures like the dinosaurs from the face of the earth, one cannot help but lean towards this understanding. And the present discovery of these colonies strengthens this belief. And this has not been the only civilization that has mysteriously disappeared. One such group is the Rapa Nui, in what is today known as Easter Island, and is most popular by the gigantic statues that are left pushed into the ground. The island is known to have been home to Polynesians between 700 and 1100 AD. Just like most archaeological structures that have been linked to the ancients, there are many theories as to how they made the gigantic figures that dot the island. These figures are carved from stones that would have been too heavy for them to transport. And not only were the skills employed in the making of these statues thought to be non-existent at the time, many still marvel at how they could have possibly driven that deep into the ground. What is visible on the surface is mostly the heads, but these statues extend more into the ground. Just as Hancock had referenced, it seems there is something about the ancients that we are yet to fully understand. They had very unique and complicated ways that they carried out their activities. While speaking to Joe Rogan, they both point out how most scientists act blind to some of these hard-to-explain structures. Basically, there's no suitable explanation we can find in the modern day. They suggest that ruling out superhuman powers that we might have forgotten along the line won't be proper. There are conspiracies that the Rapa Nui statues might have been made by some kind of extraterrestrial life. However, with further research, we might be able to explain these later in the future. Hit the like button and subscribe so that you don't miss our upcoming videos that will open you to more mysteries. We'll see you there.